Doing, ladies and gentlemen, back with some more Warframe. I'm going to kind of go through some of these builds. My son had asked me to kind of highlight some of what I'm doing. Alright, first one is an Eximus Stronghold, which Eximus are always a pain, but I'm going to, I just pick Warframes at random sometimes. I'm going to use Banshee. Now what I've done with Banshee, I've got a couple of different builds. I've got one that's more ranged for like mobile defenses, things like that. I've got one that's kind of centered around Soundquake. But I don't use that as much. What I wind up using, and I use Rolling Guard simply because she's incredibly squishy. Alright, with just, like this one doesn't even have any health mods on it. It's like 300 health, right? So, with Eximus, where everything is draining energy from you, what I decided to do was just use this. I think I have an Umbral build for all of them in some way, where I use at least 2 of the Umbral mods. Alright, and this one's got 220. I found a way to squeeze Resonating Quake in here. It's not as much range. This one I had formed for that particular polarity, so can't really put anything else in there. But 145, as far as the range, kind of works. You could also go with Endurance Drift, adds a little extra energy, but I mean, at 744, that little extra bit isn't going to do, it's not going to do that much. So we're going to use that, and I'm thinking the lens here, 209% crit chance, and then this, if I happen to run out, I got Pax Charge in here. On one of the builds I got Pax Seeker. What Pax Seeker does is, if you hit an enemy with a headshot, these projectiles just burst from it and go looking for other heads to hit. It's really pretty cool. But for, say, secondary only missions and things like that, or something where, like, the lens has a small amount, like it's got a basic built-in ammo mutation, which any ammo that it picks up for other things will wind up being converted into arrows. But this Pax Charge changes the ammo into, see, there's no ammo over here with Pax Charge, and it just recharge. It'll never run out, and it reloads pretty quick. It's like less than a second to reload. So if you empty the whole clip, it'll fill back up on its own. You don't have to reload. So it'll never run out. And just the Zenistar, which is pretty. A lot of vets complained that, people that have played Warframe for more than 3 years complain that it took us 300 days to get the Zenistar, and 300 logins. So it means you had to at least play it for pretty close to a year. But now, after 100 days, you get you can pick between the Azima, the Zenistar, and some other weapon. Maybe it's the Zenith, one of those. So I think it's kind of good that you, as a early player, can get a chance to get this weapon. The Zenistar, it's good for a lot of reasons. So anyway, let's go to this, and let's see. The second one is mobile defense, energy reduction, and the last one, as normal, I'll leave out and do the spy on my own. But let's see if we can get a good team together for this. Most of the times I do the sorties with people that I know, and we kind of coordinate a team. But even then, I just do kind of an eeny, meeny, miny, mo thing as far as what I'm going to take, because you should be able to take, other than spy missions, I just want to get them done. I want to be as stress-free as possible, especially when the enemies are like level 100, and all my stealth frames, with the exception of Ash Prime, are pretty squishy. You know, my Loki has no health. Wow. Goes right in.
The reactor is going into stasis. Now is your chance to complete this sabotage. Do whatever you can to make sure it never works again.
Very quick.
Bullet cell extracted.
I don't like coming in this late. Normally I would just leave out, come back on my own.
Fuel inserted.
Bust this up. Always bust this up if you can.
Destroy the teleporters.
There we go.
A blast door has blocked your evacuation route. Find a way to open it.
Bust him up. Whoa. Still smooth. It's a pain when you come in the middle with no energy. That's annoying. That up.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Now, the second one is mobile defense, but it's energy reduction. So one of the ways to get around that, if you have a coordinated team, is to use Trinity. If you don't, if you've got maximum duration on your Mirage and you've got that Hall of Malevolence augment, then just use her one and just do a lot of damage. Should last a long time, and it doesn't matter about energy efficiency. So let's do this. Let's take I don't like when people do that. Usually that's new guys. They just hit the button. They don't care. They're taking the same thing all the way through. I don't like it. So I'll leave. Automatic. It's not even a question. I'll just leave. Alright, so let's go with, now the thing about Hildren, let's go to the abilities. Balefire is just, again, if it's something where it's melee only or it's something sniper only or something, you can go to this Balefire charger, and it's a secondary, and it can do a lot of damage. Alright, Pillage steals shields and armor. So the only faction this doesn't work, she works perfectly against Corpus. Against Infested, you never want to take her. You just don't. I mean, again, you can get away with it if you've got decent weapons, but she's no good against something. She's no good against Infested, so just don't. Alright, and the Haven, and then Aegis Storm is just her being able to immobilize enemies. You can use the Balefire while you're in it. So you up in the air and you're suspending these enemies, and you can shoot them with the Balefire, but that's the only thing you can shoot them with. Alright, but in the Haven, again, will damage enemies, and it's not the best. It's not the best ability. But Pillage, to be able to steal shields and armors and replenish over shields and things like that, and it removes status effects, it's great. So let's go with that. We're gonna switch, well, it's mobile defense, so we'll keep the Zenistar. Keep that. Let's switch to thinking the Batticore. There we go, gas or corrosive. Let's go corrosive. It's not bad damage, and it well, see, this is magnetic also. See, this is more geared toward Corpus with their shields. But, I mean, this does a ton of damage. Gas and magnetic. And that being corrosive and magnetic, which is hard to get that combination. Yeah, well, we don't need this. That's more of a Corpus gun, but I do like it. That's why I was trying to figure out a way to use it. I gotta finish I got a new ribbon for this Lanka, which I hadn't been using, but it increases the flight speed, not flight speed, the reload speed. So that 1.6 for that isn't that bad. And then if I throw it with Harrow to do and use Harrow's 2, which will increase your reload speed, that works pretty well for him. I took speed trigger out, but I left it in on the other ones. But 4.4 crit multiplier is not bad on that. Plus Harrow uses one and the 2 to strip and increase the reload speed, and then do the 4. He's going to do a ton of damage, because as he takes damage in that 4, that moment of invulnerability, it'll increase the crit chance. So, I mean, I can get some unreal numbers without having that ribbon that boosts it to 85%. So, let's find, we can go with this. That's fine.
Tenno, the balance of power continues to shift. Navigation is marked with new invasions.
And the Phantasma's got inherent radiation, so corrosive and radiation, that's not terrible. And the fact you can get it to 100% status, that's not terrible either. Got a decent ribbon. I'll probably roll it a couple times. It's got heat and it's got multi-shot, and this is not a good, that's not good. Alright, multi-shot, okay, great. The reload speed knocks it down a little bit. It adds heat. It's not a good ribbon. But the Phantasma, you put enough Forma into it, and I've got 3 in it. This makes this a pretty good weapon. So, we're going to keep the Zenistar, right? Yeah. Hellfire Charger, won't use it probably, but it's got Corrosive and Blast. 19,999 corrosive damage. So if we're using it, that's pretty good. Okay. Let's go. I'm sorry it's a little slower, but as I said, I was asked to explain some of the builds and why I do certain things. I mean, this game is personal preference. You can do it however you'd like. Some ways are easier than others, but you can build most of them. There should be like a skeleton of what you build certain things around. But I mean, it's easy. You can play it any way you'd like. So again, because this is Grineer, we can use Hildren, but ideally against Corpus, if it's, hey, there's energy reduction, you take her because she doesn't use energy. You use her powers based on your shields. Your shields are your energy. So I think I've only got her at like 300 health. Oh, 467. Okay. I should have changed focus schools.
Get me in. Get ready to defend.
She moves differently too, so you can't. The bullet jumping is different because it's lower.
This will take a moment.
Let's go on the offensive.
Working on it. You to defend.
What's up here? Again, I think that normally, yes, they do make the game a lot easier for new people than it was when I started. But I think being able to let them get the Zenistar at 100 login days is beneficial for them. Bust those up if you can, those things, because that boosts their strength. And they're about like level 75, whatever, so you don't want that.
Defend our position.
Right, we're going down for this. Put that over there for them. And that's the damage. Switch to the bear fire.
to defend.
Got your haven on every once in a while. And see what they do. Nothing I can do to help you. I'll revive people's pets and whatnot, but sometimes pets are dumb.
Move on.
Huh.
Terminal spotted. Uploading and prepare to... I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
That's why I don't like it. You saw that other guy, he's already put the data mask in, and the other guy's way on the other side of the map. You gotta,
Still working on it.
it's not low level stuff. It's not difficult stuff. Conceivably I could do these by myself, but you don't want it to be difficult. You want to be able to just make sure your stuff works. See that your things work, and you just want to enjoy playing. But all that other, having to chase guys down, it's just dumb.
The odds were against us, Tenno.
Cut that off now.
Mission complete.
The odds are against us, so it's over with. And I don't understand. Okay, so up in the upper right hand corner you see that little red symbol, and my Jinn is dead. So after that timer counts down, it'll come back to life.
Another job well executed.
So for long term or long missions, especially if it's Corpus, you want to take that Jinn, but make sure that you have that Awaken mod from Cephalon Samaris. I think it's like 50,000 standing points or something like that, but it's worth putting it in. In my opinion, it's better than Primed Regen. Prime Regen is good for high level stuff, but it's not prolonged high level stuff, because it'll revive your character a couple of times, but it'll only do it 3 times. That Awaken mod will it'll just keep going. So we can get away with switching to this Prisma Shade.
Operator, your chosen Warframe suits you.
And this is how I have this. I do have Primed Animal Instinct. Isn't much better than regular Animal Instinct. It's supposed to be a little better. Oh, that's right, I gave that other one away. Okay. Excuse me. So But that, if killed, it will regenerate 3 times with at 100% health, and it's invulnerable for 11 seconds. That's okay if you're just doing something short and quick. But it's not in the long run. All of the Sentinels should have something like Awakening, or at least have it revive more than 3 times. Because I've got it. Look, and this is why I'm saying this. It's not like I've got decent health on it, but it's not something that, no matter how much armor or shields you put on it, it's not gonna keep them alive. Right? The only reason I don't have shields and armor built up on this one is because it doesn't really do anything at level 100 enemies. But you got this ghost. Cloaks the owner when enemies are within 10 meters. Now, the cloaking works better with the Horus Kubro. When they had raids in here, which has been gone for over a year now, when you had raids, you took the Horus Kubro, because that, for some reason, that kept you invisible longer and more frequently and more often. You could stand next to enemies. The Kubro wouldn't attack. You could just stand next to enemies, because there's that one in the raid, there's that one part where everybody has to stand on these platforms, and you hack the platform. So it's, platforms all around this huge room, and it's nothing but these level 100 and something Grineer, those Manics, which will kill you at lower levels. So definitely over 100 they'll kill you. But you just, as long as you stand there and don't move, you stay invisible. At least you did with the Horus. Alright, so who are we going to, we could do Loki, we could do Hill. The problem with Ivar, and when I say problem, I really don't mean problem. There's really no problem at all. It's just you're going much slower. And with the infiltrate, I'm going in by myself, so there's no... I'll take her because she's got that built-in exalted bow. Alright? So if we need it... Let's do this one. Infiltrate mod for her isn't necessary, but lets her move a little faster. Excuse me. And you can go through the laser barriers. You don't have to worry about setting. No, it's fine. Alright, so let's get... I might have to fix this controller. Let's go with this. Corrosive. Okay. Right only.
I see you.
So one of the things is, I don't think Saturn, no. If it requires an arc wing, or is that underwater, I may even run through one to show you what specifically I mean. There's one, it can be difficult if you don't know ways around how to make the arc wing spy missions a little easier. It can be painful.
Your mission is to
Right,
break
we'll
into
drop
enemy
one
vaults
energy.
and steal any intelligence files you find.
Sleep arrow. And the good thing about the Artemis bow is it does not drain energy till you use it.
Tenno, be on for increased security measures.
So let's just go to A. Oh. Now, normally you'd have to shoot that out. With this, you do not.
Nobody knows you're here.
That infiltrate, that makes a difference. But let's just say that you needed to shoot it out. Come out. Just shoot it that way. So I mean, it's still not a problem, but you might not want to set anything off.
Trigger the alarms now. The enemy will start destroying data.
Now with this, if you bullet jump, you'll come out of your stealth. That's not what you want to do. Oh, come on. Stop playing.
Data extracted.
And you might want to stay invisible because a lot of times they'll see you. It's dumb. Whoa, it's a ton of them out there. Zoom off axis a little bit. Okay, I thought I heard one of those special chests. Bleed out. Triggers aren't excellent. I'm losing a lot of energy fast. Yeah, and sometimes you just don't feel like fighting, because normally I wouldn't have a problem fighting my way through this thing.
You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarm now, and
Just
they will
fighting
start
through the enemies,
destroying the
but
data.
Gotta cut it back on. This one is a pain if you don't have it. If you don't have a stealth Warframe, you let those go by. Come out of your Warframe. Hack this real fast. Down here. Don't do the energy recharge under here, where you come out and dash and get the energy. You know what I mean? You come out and dash. Don't do it, because it'll drain. It'll set off the alarms, which is dumb, right? But alright, so you go back here. And you want to look over and make sure that little thing is going the other way, and wait for that one to go past. And you just come run along here. Hack this. And then again, if you don't have a stealth Warframe, drop down in that hole. Wait for that thing to turn its head. Come in around the other way. I made this unnecessarily difficult because, again, I have a stealth Warframe. I don't have to go through all that. I don't have to do all that. Anyway, come back out of there. Just go through here. I'm making things unnecessarily difficult. If I just brought a non-stealth Warframe, then that would be something different.
A clean extraction with no alarms.
I can show you, but trying to show you with Ivara becomes painful because there's no reason. Already. Try to get a little energy back to this last vault. Way across here. See, with the infiltrate mod, it doesn't seem like she's moving quick, but she's moving a lot quicker than she normally would. Just go right through that vault, through the energy door. The one, not the one good thing, but one of the good things about Ivara is the increased or the built-in energy radar. So you saw, if you're checking your mini map, you can see the enemies before they get close to you. So even without having animal instinct in your pet or in your sentinel or whatever, Ivara is still a good, she's perfect for spy mission. She's perfect.
You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data.
Alright. Now here's the pain about this. She can still, even though she can go through lasers, she can't go through that. Those she can't go through. So you have to slide under. It's crazy. It's nuts. She can't set off energy doors, but she can set those off. It's dumb.
Excellent work. A clean extraction with no alarms. We have everything we came for. Get to extraction.
I never understood that. We don't know how to do that. What we can do. So what did we get? 6,000 approval. Okay. Like I said, I had to roll something anyway. The Phantasma. Yeah, because I got a crappy roll. I'm going to roll it right now and see what we can get off of it. I need to finish ranking that larkspur up. That's what I need to do. Alright, let's do the... Is the Phantasm already in there? Yeah, okay. So, let's take it out. Let's take it out of all the builds.
Operator, please return covered
so we can make an accurate comparison. Right. So I think it's, let's go to names. Alright, so okay, the regular Phantasm. Man, 2 rolls. Okay, let's see. That's plus reload. But so this is this actually and increased magazine capacity. This is actually better, right? It's actually better. Resource booster. Okay. That's one I got. Oh.
Operator, are you enjoying the view?
Alright, so let's do a
All
quick...
mods accounted for, Operator. I have not taken any.
Not a siphon, a flood mission. Kuva flood. Be interesting to see when these Kuva disruption missions come in next week. How that affects it, because today is Sunday the 15th. So this week we're going to be having that Saint of, what is it called? Let's look at it real quick. The Saint of Ultra. So that's with Gauss and a couple new weapons, and then the new modes, and the bow, the buff to all the bows. Be interesting. All right, so I don't know what planet it's gonna be on. I have no idea what planet it's going to be on. So let's just grab Ash. And I'm going to use this one. Alright. The efficiency isn't super high, but 255 duration. And that's not as high as it can go. Alright. But it's comfortable. Constitution, if you get knocked down, you pop back up. Seeking Shuriken with the power strength right there at 145. It's going to strip armor. It says reducing armor, but it'll strip their armor completely. Yeah, and it's not terrible damage. It's just on low level stuff, it'll just rip them up. But 20 seconds for his invisibility, that's good. That's good. And I've got, I could leave energizing. Here's what I'm gonna do, just for the sake of argument. Let's go in here and put 2 trickeries in. Alright. Arcane Trickery. So when you do a finisher, and Blade Storm's a finisher, 10% chance, and you're bouncing around. Hopefully you've got it on at least your Blade Storm. You got about 6 or 7 enemies marked if you're doing it. Hopefully you're not just doing it on one enemy. It's pretty good chances. 10% chance doesn't seem like a lot, but mark 10 enemies. Mark 8 enemies. You're probably going to get it. You're invisible for 20 seconds after that. Alright, so let's take this Phantasma out. Let's just do this for energy's sake. Keep it on corrosive because those are the guys we're going to fight. Negative recoil. Doesn't matter about infested. They're not using it on infested. And I've got, where is it? Now, even if you let's oh, okay, I took it out because I was doing a. All right, so we don't have it in. So watch. This is not bad as it is, all right? Because dagger, and if you got finishers, covert lethality lets you do a finisher. It's going to do damage the same. Excuse me. It'll have the same effect whether the enemy is level 5 or level 500. You're killing them, right? Lethal damage on finishers. It's just like a set. Hey, if you do a finisher move on, they're going to die. I don't even know if there's any mathematics directly involved in it. It's like, oh, okay, finisher, you're dead. So, Exodia Force That's one of the mods you can get. One of the augments, the arcanes, actually, the Zal arcanes you can get on Cetus. You rank up. It requires resources from Earth, so you go there and you fool around a little bit. But what that does is it's got 50% chance to deal 200% weapon damage to enemies within 6 meters. So that's on top of all the other damage that you're going to do. That's crazy. That's on status effect. So status here is 80. It's not horrible. Let's throw this mod in here now. Whoa, 99.3%. So, and conceivably we can get it to 100, but this, for what I'm trying to do, bumps the slash up considerably. I've got condition overload in here with a plus 60% melee damage per status. So if it's 99%, I've got one of them, I think it's 100%. Let's say we will use this one. It's 100%. Okay? So it's viral, so the chances of its health being cut in half is pretty good. Lessens the impact. Lessens puncture. Slash is here, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential statuses that can be inflicted. At 100%, something's gonna get inflicted. Zodiac Force is now adding 200% weapon damage. That's nuts. 200%. And we got 5 different, like 60% on slash, 60% on puncture, impact, radiation, and viral. So 60% on each individual status. So this little dagger does a ton of damage. And it's like, look how fast it's firing. It's like 1.62. So, again, just going to this one, that's fine. So it's a 99% chance. It's still, this thing has so many different ways to kill things. So we'll just go with that. That's fine. And let's find a flood to do. So you look for where the Kuva Fortress is. So one of these two places, let's look for one on Jupiter since we've got something for fighting Grineer. So just a regular kind of that little, just Kuva, that's the Siphon. So those are the lower level enemies. Okay, let's do the Spy. So that little windmill of Kuva, the 3 drops, the floods are always higher level enemies. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. So sometimes these can be a pain. If you're doing, for example, the spies, you know you can get one done, you want to hurry and get it done. Oh man, I love this new tile set. I really like it.
Tenno, you are here to infiltrate and retrieve highly sensitive enemy information.
One of those.
Be on the lookout for increased security measures.
Just in
The
case
enemy
somebody
would rather
else
destroy their data than let it get into our hands.
messes up. Oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Let's get this thing stopped going. Where is it? Kill that guy. And another one over here. So there we go. Now we gotta go back up and get this done. Whoops.
Excellent work. A clean extraction with no
Now the
alarms.
pain is that one that's, but I like the tile set. It's just different. It's different than the way that they used to be on there. So let's see. There's one to B. Let me go to C. C will be the difficult one.
Those are Queen's braids. Want to
Here.
go back to
Listen, the machines are coming to life. There's Kuva in the air.
the resonance frequency has changed. You're onto something, Tenno. Hurry. Use your operator form to strike those Kuva clouds.
There.
That
That guy's
worked.
got it.
Your operator form
Good
is
job.
key. Target the Kuva clouds.
Now that way. Alright, he'll get that one.
Ah! Child hurting my Kuva siphon. Queen's immortal guard. You're just a waste of food. You useless balls of festering flesh.
Okay, now
You
I'm
let
going
me
to see.
destroy my Kuva siphon.
You guys get out of here.
You destroyed Queen's Kuva
I'm
siphon.
going to see. Somebody
Don't allow
go to
any
B.
of these to survive.
Here.
Stalkers are heading to your location. Alarms have been triggered. You need to retrieve that data before the data destruction is complete.
Trying to turn it off, and this guy keeps cutting it back on. What are you doing, dude? We lost this one.
It's too late. We've lost
I'm
this
trying to
data.
turn it off. You cutting it back
You'll
on,
need to be more
dude. What are you
careful with
doing?
the next vault.
Killing me. Killing me. Let's go this way. By myself. It's just if I mess up, it's not a problem. Somebody else is trying to get in at the same time I'm trying to get in. That doesn't make sense.
Data
There we
extracted.
go. Okay.
Won't even
Good
know
job.
it's gone. The data we retrieved will have to suffice. Get to extraction.
Let's roll. Let's go. Get up. Yeah. Shoot those things if you're with other people. If you're by yourself, it doesn't matter. But shoot those little energy barrier things, because the guys will just run through. And let's say the guy's ahead of me right there, and he runs through. Okay, now you run through. I'm behind here. Up there, that's electricity, so that's coming through. And I'm dealing with that, and I'm dealing with toxin damage. Just shoot the things if you're going through. Sales chamber. All right, so 2,512. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. The hexanon, if you don't have Wisp or you don't have the Fullman, get on it. Wisp is almost mandatory, because you can take. I probably would have been better taking Wisp on this spy mission. She can go through laser doors with her 2. She's nice. She's nice. She's great. All right. So let's go back to this Phantasma ribbon. Okay. We got one more roll in this. All right, now that's not bad. That improves it a little. It's like quality of life stuff, but it's not doing anything as far as damage. See what we got going on. Negative impact, that's fine. Plus 214 damage. Yep, let's go with that. Yep. That's better.
I understand.
So I'm not worried about impact not being in it
Maybe orders will meet a similar fate
at all.
someday.
Let's go here. Right now, yes, there is impact in it, but impact is almost like, it's like whatever. I could conceivably, let's see, so this is gas and magnetic. Let's throw this in first. So it minimizes the impact. That's fine. But look, it bumps everything else up. So the status chance, let's see. All of these are 100 with 3. So let's take the heat out. Wait. I wanted this to be corrosive, right? Let's take the heat out. Electric and toxin gives us that. Vigilante armaments. Alright. So that bumps the status chance. Can we get away? Oh, that's 100. That's very nice. It's very nice. Take a look at that radiation one in a minute. So let's see. Just 9. We just want to put 9 in. So it's corrosive and radiation. Let's actually change that. It's just corrosive. We won't confuse ourselves.
Operator, did you hear that? It said... Cosmic background radiation is a riot.
Okay. So... a couple different things we can put in here. That to sinister reach to increase the range on this? Potentially yes. Potentially yes. It's got no punch through, so this could work. And it enhances. Well, there's no crit in this, so it doesn't matter. Put blaze in another one. Combustion beam. Just adding extra damage, that's always potentially that's always good. Vicious spread. Plus 90 damage, plus 60 spread. Let's see what it looks like. Throws the accuracy off a little bit. Punch through and reload speed. See what it looks like with punch through. Oh, no, it's 11. Status duration. Let's put combustion beam in there and we'll leave it alone. And then radiation. Well, it's already radiation. So let's take that out. We'll just put in, we'll just make this be regular radiation. So electricity and heat. There's heat. There's electricity. So let's see, does that bump it to 100? Wow. That's really nice. Alright. So let's do, is that heat also? Yeah, let's do that. So let's bump that up. 60% damage and 60% heat. Problem is you can't get any more heat. That is, let's see, 2,496. Okay, we'll do that. That's considerable. Okay. Well, we're going to definitely, I think, Tuesday, this Saint of Ultra, I'm pretty sure that's coming out. What we'll do is I'll go over the patch notes of the stuff that, I mean, obviously, always check things for yourself. But we'll do the patch notes on what I think is important, and we'll go through some of these new nodes that are open. If you're eligible to do arbitrations now, which means you've gone and opened up everything on the star chart, everything whatsoever, in order for you to continue to be eligible for them, you'll be locked out of arbitrations if you don't do at least these new nodes once. So you're kind of forced to do them, which I'm not a fan of, but I understand why they're doing it. So Tuesday at the latest, I'll probably fool around with it a little bit so I can give a little bit. I'll probably take an hour or so to deal with each individual node to kind of give you my impressions or what to expect on them, since they're going to be different than the regular disruptions on Jupiter. And then we'll kind of walk through it and see who we can take through it. I don't know if I'm just going to flat out buy Gauss or farm, and I'm going to try to farm it anyway. We'll get a couple people and try to see how farming intensive it is. But yeah, Tuesday, I'm pretty sure that's when the PlayStation store resets, and that's when I'm pretty sure that this update's going to come through. So once it comes through, you'll know whether by the time the evening hits, you'll know whether or not I bought Gauss or I farmed it, because I don't think you can farm it in a day. I remember one of my buddies and myself, when Equinox first came out, we just kept running it, and because it was a new mission, it was the new tile rigor. We hadn't been there before. Tile rigor was talking crazy. If I squeeze your head fruit, let's see what comes out. I mean, it was a great mission. We're used to new things, so hopefully there'll be something that can hold our attention a little bit. I got a lot of guys that I played with, and we had like a great time. We'd be in farming when you had to take keys to the void. We'd be in there for hours. We'd be fighting level 4, 5, 600 enemies. I mean, it's hard to kill them. But there's nothing really like that anymore. So because my kids like playing it, I try to make sure I can do something to kind of walk them through certain things. So Tuesday, one way or the other, we're either going to be farming for Gauss, or we're going to be going through the individual disruption modes. We're definitely going to farm for the new weapons. We're definitely farming for the new weapons. And we're going to try some of the bows out, since the bows will get buffed in this next update. I'm looking forward to that, because I got some pretty strong bows as it is. Alright, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and we'll see you Tuesday. Alright, bye-bye.